Welcome back to the last video of high-stakes testing, Going Local, the history of high-stakes testing in Indonesia, Part 3. Indonesia has conducted high-stakes testing for years, but start in 2020, everything has changed. Let's take a little walk to the past. In 1950 up to 1965, we have ujian penghabisan. It is function as graduation requirement to determine graduation so that the students can continue their education to the next level. In 1965 up to 1971, we have ujian negara. It is also function as graduation requirement. But in this examination, those who do not pass the exam still get a certificate and still can continue to private schools or universities. In 1972 up to 1979, we have ujian sekolah or school examination. The creator of the examination is made by the schools based on central government's guide. It is also function as graduation requirements. In 1980 up to 2001, we have EPTANAS and EPTA, which were made by school and central government and also schools and also provincial government. It is aimed to control, evaluate, and develop the quality of education. In 2002 up to 2004, we have ujian akhir nasional or UAN as a graduation requirement. The term has changed in 2005 up to 2012 with national examination, and in 2014 up to 2019 it becomes ujian nasional berbasis komputer or computer-based national examination. They are still function as graduation requirements to determine the graduation so that the students can continue their education to the next level. In 2020, the national examination is omitted due to COVID-19 pandemic. How about in 2020?
Tidak ada USBN, itu kembali kepada sekolah, jadi menjadi ujian sekolah. Kedua, UN diganti jadi asesmen kompetensi dan survei karakter. Ketiga adalah RPP yang tadinya berhalaman-halaman 13 komponen jadi 3 komponen dan cukup 1 halaman. Dan yang keempat adalah zonasi yang tadinya jalur prestasinya cuma 15%, sekarang dibesarkan menjadi 30% agar jalur prestasinya dan minimum afirmasi, donasi, dan perpindahan itu 70%. Ya.
If we have no more high-stakes testing, what's next? Replacement of high-stakes testing in Indonesia. Education and Culture Minister Nadiem Makarim has announced for educational policy programs dubbed Merdeka Belajar or Freedom of Learning. One of them is the termination of the national examination starting in 2020. Nadiem said that the new system will be based on international practices such as the Program for International Students Assessment. The national examination will be replaced by what the minister dubs a national assessment with 3 main instruments of minimum competency assessment, character survey, and learning environment survey. The assessment will focus on the students' ability to apply their reading, mathematics, and science skills in real-life situations, and it aims to measure the students' numeracy and literacy levels. It will allow teachers to remedy poor performance by the students before graduation. But what is the difference between national examination and national assessment? Let's check it out. National examination versus national assessment. The aims. National examination is function as graduation requirements to determine graduation so that the students can continue their education to the next level. Meanwhile, national assessment is function as a marker of a paradigm shift in educational evaluation. National examination is also function as the efforts to equalize the quality of education levels between regions. Meanwhile, national assessment is function as the efforts to evaluate and map the education system in the form of inputs, processes, and results. In national assessment, there are three main instruments. They are minimum competency survey, character survey, and learning environment survey. MCS is to measure students' level of achievement in terms of numeracy and literacy. Meanwhile, character survey is to measure the student achievement on socio-emotional in accordance with values of the state ideology of Pancasila. And learning environment survey is to evaluate the quality of learning in the school environment. Now, let's take a look on their difference in basic concept. The national exam concept. In national examination, there is standard determination. That is hoped to increase the quality of education. What is meant by the determination of educational standards is the determination of the limit value or cut-off high score. It means that there is passing or failing the testing. In national examination, only the students are examined. Meanwhile, in national assessment, there is no standard determination. But it is still a program for assessing the schools and madrasah quality as equivalency program at the primary and secondary levels. Since it has no standard determination, there is no limit value. It means that there is no passing or failing the assessment. And not only the students are examined, but also the quality of the teaching learning process and the educational unit climate that supports learning. Talk about the measurement. In national examination, there is a passing limit and there are standards for each subject as a minimum standard. Meanwhile, in national assessment, there is no a passing limit or no standards for each subject. The creator of national examination usually is a theme, a special theme from Central. Meanwhile, national assessment is made by the school with the help of the Ministry of Education and Culture guide. The use of the result of national examination is functioned as graduation requirements. It is used to enter higher education. Meanwhile, in national assessment, there is no consequences. It is only used for mapping so that they know the real situation in the field. The participants of national examinations are only the students. Meanwhile, in national assessment, the participants are the students, the teachers, and the school principals. And usually, national examinations are tested at the final grade of learner's level. Meanwhile, the national assessment is tested at the middle grade of the level. National examination usually is conducted in 4 up to 5 days. Meanwhile, national assessment is planned to be conducted in 2 days. The national examination is computer-based test, so it is conducted through semi-online system. Meanwhile, in the future, national assessment is conducted full online supervised. In several areas, maybe it is still semi-online and offline, and it is computerized multi-stage adaptive testing. To sum up, high-stage testing is a test or a testing program that has high or direct consequences, that is single and defined and having a clear line drawn between those who pass and fail. And about the criticism towards high-stakes testing, there are several points we want to emphasize. First, regards its status as an assessment. It is a one-size-for-all summative assessment. It cannot cover the complexity of learning, particularly language learning. Therefore, it contributes a little towards the betterment of teaching and learning process. Second, regards the mismatch between the intended aims of assessment and its use in reality. The result of an assessment is aimed for the learning improvement. However, the result of high-stakes testing is mostly used for purposes it was not intended to be, such as who will graduate from high school, enter college, get scholarship, and who will not, who will get extra salary, and who will get fired. The third regards the marginalization that the assessment creates. In America, it will privilege the white people, the middle class, the rich society, and it marginalizes the rest. Indonesia might have another version of inequalities. Probably, instead of white people, it would be privilege for people who live in Java. So, what do you think? What kind of assessment do we actually need? And how is it supposed to be? Please comment and write your opinion. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.